Hi, good morning to all VV8 students. So last two classes we have discussed about DC motor operating principle and the significance of back EMF, and from that equivalent circuit of the DC shunt motor, and also in the last class we have seen how to derive the torque equation in case of DC motor. So now today's class we are going to discuss about the speed control of the DC shunt motors. So here how to control the speeds. So whether how if you want to if you are running a motor, so how to control that speed of the DC motor for different applications. You may need some over the high speeds or below the rated speeds. So there are two methods here we can see. So how to control the DC motor speeds. So basically we know this is the equation. Last two classes we have seen one of the important relation while deriving the torque equation. The speed control of the motors, so which can be related by N is proportional to EB by phi. So this is the one of the main equation we have derived. N is proportional to EB by phi. So and from that N is equal to, so if you take out that proportionality constant, some constant k into V minus IARA. So in the first class we have derived EB is equal to V minus IARA. So that EB is replaced by now V minus IARA. So which I have shown in the yellow color. So k into V minus IARA divided by phi. So this is the equation. So we are going to be considered final equation. So that N is equal to k into V minus IARA divided by phi. So from this, if you see this equation, the speed can be controlled in a how many ways. So here the speed is related with IA, and also the speed is related with flux. So I can say that another relation, the speed is also related with the supply voltage V. So therefore the speed of the DC motor can be controlled by using one of the method, that is the supply voltage. By varying the supply voltage we can control the speed, or by varying the flux per pole method. So this is the phi. So by changing the phi also we can control the speed, and the other one, that is the armature resistance control. So by varying all these three methods we can control the speed of the DC motor, and this is the basic equation we should remember to control the speed. So that is nothing but here this is the one of the main equation. From that only we are going to see that variation of the supply voltage. So by varying the supply voltage also we can control the speed. By varying the flux we can control the speed, and by varying the armature resistance. So these are the three different types of methods of control for a DC motor speeds. So here basically we have some two different methods to control the speed of the DC motor. So one of the method which is called, I am calling armature resistance control method. Armature resistance control method. And the other method, second method, which I am calling as flux control method. Flux control method. So these are the two control methods to control the speed of DC motor. So one by one, what is the flux control method and what is the armature control method, we have to discuss in these classes. So first we'll see armature resistance control method. So what it is, armature resistance control method? So in that equation only we are saying that, so by varying the armature resistance we are going to control the speed of the DC motor. So for that we need to represent the circuit diagram representation. So here the circuit diagram representation for the speed control of the method by armature resistance control method. So I need to control the armature resistance. So that is nothing but we are going to vary the armature resistance. So as we know already from this equivalent circuit, so this is the representation of the motor equivalent circuit. So this is the DC shunt motor. For example, DC shunt motor we have taken. So here this is the field winding, this is FFFF. So this is representing the field winding terminals, and A. So these are the two terminals which are representing. So these are the two terminals which are represented field control method, and these are the field terminals, and these two are the armature terminals, and across here we are going to keep the armature resistance. So for we need to the armature winding should be varied, the armature resistance. So for that we need to go for, we have to connect one rheostat across the terminals. We need to connect one rheostat across the armature terminals. So this is the rheostat which is connected across the armature terminals. So if you vary this resistance such a way that RA, so here we are going to taken as some R1, so that is the resistance which is taken as R1, and another resistance R2 and the other resistance R3. So the sequence should be R3 should be greater than R2 and R2 should be greater than R1. So that is, suppose R1 is equal to some 2 ohms we have taken, R2 is some greater than 2, and that is R3 is greater than R2. So these are the simple values of R resistance we are varying. So there is nothing but R value we are going to become increasing. So whenever we are increasing the R value, definitely, so I is proportional to V by R. R is increasing. So R is increasing, nothing but the current should become decreasing. So here the current value of the armature current is going to become decreasing. So that is from the previous equation we have represented IARA. So here IA value is going to become decreasing. So that is nothing but here I can write speed value which is proportional to IA value, which is proportional to IA value. So therefore IA which is going to become decreasing. So when IA is decreasing, obviously the speed of the motor is also going to become decreasing. Why? Because both are directly proportional. So from this, what I can say, in the armature resistance control method, if it goes on increasing the armature resistance, so there will be a decremental in the speed. There will be a decremental in the speed. So that is nothing but here we have drawn a graph that is between speed versus IA. Speed versus IA. So already we have shown that N and both IA, both are in directly proportional relation. So IA is decreasing. So obviously speed also is going to become decreasing. So for R1 value, suppose R1 is equal to some X value. So R2 is some X plus 1. R3 is some X plus 3. So that is the value of resistance is goes on increasing. Your speed values are going to become decreasing. So that is nothing but by using armature resistance control method, we can get below the rated speeds. We can get the below the rated speeds. Suppose, for example, the motor which is running with a normal rated speed is 1500 RPM. Normal rated speed is 1500 RPM, revolutions per minute. So obviously if you are going to connecting this armature control method and goes on increasing the armature resistance, your speed of the motor is going to become drooping. That is nothing but when it is increasing some resistance of X value, so which is coming to 1490 RPM, and still if I am increasing the resistance, so obviously which is going to become 1490 to 1470. If still I am increasing the resistance value, so which is drooping into 1460. So like that, the speed, that is nothing but the speed of the DC motor is going to become decreasing whenever the armature resistance of the motor is going to become increasing. So that is the armature resistance control method. So that's what we have seen. So this is the method which is employed for, especially for driving cranes. So that is we can take it for, that is the example for series motors. So that is nothing but cranes, trains, etc. All these for which is used for so series motors. So we can control the speed in shunt motors as well as for series motors. So this is the example which I have shown here, that is the cranes, trains, etc., which are showing the examples for speed control of series motors. And similarly we can do it for shunt motors also. So this will result decrease in speed of the motor. So this is what final conclusion from armature resistance control method. This will result decrease in the speed of the motor whenever we are going to connect the motor with the armature resistance control method. So this is what we can expect the result of the decrease in rated speeds, that is nothing but below the rated speeds, which I am calling, this is the method which is called below the rated speeds. And next another method which is flux control method. So that is the second control method of the DC motor, that is field flux control method or flux control method we can call it. And similarly now field flux, so that is nothing but I am going to connect one field rheostat across the field winding now. So before we have connected across the armature winding, now we are connecting as in the field flux control method. So this is the F and FF. These are the field winding representation. So this is the field winding representation. So this is the field winding representation, and here I am going to connect one field rheostat here which I am connecting. So this is the field rheostat which I am connecting here. So field rheostat which I have connected here. So that is the field rheostat method which I am calling. So here, so field rheostat control. So similarly here also I am going to increasing the resistance. If R1 with the value of some X1 and R2 which is the value of the X plus 1. So that is the more than R1 value. So if goes on increasing the resistance, so if I am changing the field rheostat across this, so if I am changing R1 is equal to some X value, R2 is equal to some X plus 1 value. So that is nothing but which is more than, R2 is greater than R1 here. R2 is greater than R1. So like that, if you take the different values of resistance across the field winding and changing the winding resistance, field resistance of the DC motor. So such a way that when I am increasing the resistance, so I is equal to V by R is increasing. So when R is increasing, definitely your value of the I is going to become, R is increasing, so your value of the current is going to become drop. So that is nothing but, so field current which is changing into decremental. So when IF is decreasing, so again go back to the main equation, K is equal to, so N is equal to K into V minus IRA divided by 5. So here field flux we are changing. So IF is changing. IF is changing is nothing but IF is proportional to, which I can call IF is proportional to field flux. IF is proportional to field flux. So according to that, IF is decreasing. So obviously your field flux also is going to become decreasing. When IF is phi is decreasing here in this equation. So let us take very clearly phi, which I am taking as phi is decreasing. When phi is decreasing, so that is nothing but I can write separately here the equation, N is proportional to 1 by phi. So phi is decreasing, phi decreasing. So obviously this is inversely proportional relation. So therefore N what will happen? It is going to become increasing. When phi is goes on decreasing, your speed of the DC motor is going to become increasing. So that is nothing but from this method what I can conclude, so that is the field flux control method. So by using this field flux control method, I can say that so we can get the above the rated speeds, above the rated speeds. Why? Because speed goes on increasing whenever we are changing the field resistance, so that is increasing. Field resistance increases, so that IF is going to become drooping. There is a decremental in IF. IF decremental means phi is decreasing. When phi is decreasing, your speed of the DC motor is going to goes on increasing. So that is nothing but here, if you draw the curve between N versus IA, so N versus IA, we are going to get, so that is the above the rated speeds. Your curve is going to get above the rated speeds. That's what example. Again here, if you take the 1500 RPM is the rated speed. So if you have taken the field flux control method, we can achieve greater than 1500 RPM. Rated speed. So this is example rated speed. So if it is a rated speed of 1500 RPM, so if you want to get more than 1500 RPM, so what method I can go for? Field flux control method. So by using field flux control method, I can get into the above the rated speeds. So that's why this method is, which is also called as above the rated speeds, where I need above the rated speeds. So I can go for what type of method of speed control? That is field flux control method. So this is the field flux control method explanation. So from these two things, so wherever I want to go for below the rated speeds, I can go for what type of method of speed control? That is armature resistance control method. If I want to go for above the rated speeds, what method I can go for? That is what it is called? Subfield flux control method. So these are the two methods which you can use it for controlling the speed of the DC motor. And finally, so I can go for what type of applications we can go for the different types of DC motors. We have some shunt motors, we have series motors, and we have some compound motors. So specifically for which application I can go for series motors. So series motors where we are going to use specifically, so that is for where high starting torque is there. So that is the important characteristics of the series motors. So high starting torque, so they will pick up very high speeds. So that is nothing but lifts, cranes, rolling mills, so trains, whatever the traction purpose, or paper machines and diesel electric propulsion ships, so rolling mills, cranes, trolleys, cars, conveyor belts, and traction purpose. So for all these applications we can go for series motor. And shunt motor, so here medium torque, so they are not maybe familiar with the series motor, so they may not have that much high starting torques as when compared to series motors, as in the case of shunt motors. So we can go for what type of applications? So lathe machines, centrifugal pumps, reciprocating pumps, fans, blowers, conveyors, woodworking machines, so printing press. For all these purposes we can go for shunt type of motors. And finally the compound motors, where we can go for this type of applications. Compound motors, mainly crushers, ice making machines, compressors, and rolling mills. Obviously compound is nothing but, so both the shunt field as well as series field winding will be there. So we can go for both the mixing of the applications of shunt and series. So mainly compound motors which you can go for, these are the applications. So ice making machines, crushers, compressors, rolling mills. So this is about all the different types of machines for the specific applications. So with this, your DC motor speed control methods and the specific applications part is over, completed. Thank you. So in the next